Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Krautdoor Adventures. This video is going to be a little bit different. You guys are going to take a walk with me. I've been getting more serious about my health, so I've been going on some nice, not extremely hard, but some good challenging hikes so that I'm pushing myself to get in a little bit better shape. So please excuse the heavy breathing because yeah. Anyway, I know I've been kind of absent from my channel for a while. Things just haven't been going the way I was expecting them to, as they sometimes do. But I do have some high hopes for the rest of this year. But I'm planning on doing the best I can so that something comes of it. What? Oh. But anyway, my father and I were able to get a nice little West Marine rubber raft. We're just working on getting it all set up to fish. I was able to take it out to the lake the other day. And it floats well, rides well with our little electric motor. I do eventually want to put a little gas motor on it so that we can get places a little bit faster. Ooh, stinging nettles. Gotta be careful of those. They're not gonna hurt or anything. They're just annoying. But yeah, we just have a little bit more work to do, and then it's gonna be fishable. Ooh. But I'm really hoping to get out and do some kokanee fishing, and then later this fall, get into some salmon, especially if I can get the raft to a point where I can take it down to my home tributary and get out to the mouth and get into some fish, or take it to some rivers nearby. But I really want to get some salmon in the freezer, get stocked up, because it has been, I think I got like one fish last year, maybe a couple. I can't remember. It was kind of a rough year, as was the last year before that, the year before that. It just hasn't been ideal in the last few years. But yeah, I do have some high hopes for this year. In between working and all that stuff, I do want to try and get out, get some fish, get some scouting done for hunting this year. I didn't even turkey hunt this year. It just, nothing lined up well. We dealt with some sicknesses. Everybody was sick for a while. My wife was sick for quite a while. And we're finally all, for the most part, better. But yeah, it's just dealing with life. But the other thing is, I think I'm also going to be making some more videos like this, where I take you guys on a walk with me. But yeah, kind of bringing you on my journey to better health. And, I'm also going to start working on simplifying my life. Because the more I think about it, the more difficult I've made my life with things that don't matter. Worrying about things that really are just inconsequential. Putting a lot of energy towards things that really don't affect my life. Ooh, this uphill stuff's getting kind of hard. And it's a little warm. It feels like this year has been warmer. Ooh, big old snake. But anyway, it feels like this year's been warmer than all the last. And it is hard. Ooh, that is a deer trail. Nice big deer trail. Right? Those people have been taking maybe people, but I think deer. Anyway, the weather has definitely been warm, and living in a fifth wheel trailer, it is not easy. One thing that I'm hoping to do is get some trips in up to some different areas to fish, get a little bit of content that way, even if I don't take the boat. Whew. I'm still not great with hills, but even if I'm not taking the boat, I'd like to get a few videos of chasing some fish somewhere else. I know my family wants to take some trips up to Mount Rainier. I know there's some good fishing up and around that area. I'm also hoping to get on at least one tuna trip this year. I didn't get any good footage from my halibut trip, but I will post some pictures of the fish. And I think I got, I don't know, I think I got some videos of the water. It was a really nasty day. Like, we almost turned around at one point, but the captain decided that it was safer to head out instead of turning around. But yeah, it was a really good trip. Got out there, not seasick at all. Got my line in the water. It was in the water for all of 3 or 4 minutes. And I caught about a 35-pound halibut and then threw up the rest of the trip. My patch that I had on had fallen off and I didn't know it. So yeah, definitely going to be looking for some different motion sickness stuff for my next trip. We were supposed to go on a second halibut trip, but the weather was really nasty and it just didn't work out. Whew. Getting a good sweat on. Yeah, these trails are relatively easy, so I'm not pushing myself too hard, but I've been putting in between 4 and 8 miles every time I go, because I walk on average 4 to 5 miles a day, just normally. So adding that little extra, kind of doubling it or more, is definitely putting myself in a better position to, strengthen myself, get myself used to these miles. I also plan on doing a bit of hiking for hunting this year. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. My brother wants to hunt rifle for deer and then muzzleloader for elk, but I haven't decided what I want to do yet, because it'd be nice to hunt with my brother, but at the same time I have more free time to hunt than he does. He gets what little days he can get off and then the weekends, and I really don't like hunting on the weekends. There's too many people in the woods. I don't plan on hunting for bear or cougar or anything. I don't mind bear meat, but it's not something that I'm gonna actively hunt for. If I happen to get one, say I'm out deer hunting or I'm out grouse hunting and I see a bear and I have a shot, I might. But to me, it's just not something that I'm... What was that? Probably a squirrel. You hear all kinds of noises when you're out here. It's quiet enough. You hear squirrels and rabbits and stuff running through the brush. One evening when I was out here, I could hear something scraping. I think it might have been like a rabbit or a raccoon. Something making some weird noise. But then again, we're close enough to wild country. It could have been a bear. But there hasn't been a bear spotted in this area in a while. There's too much human foot traffic. But that doesn't mean much. I know that there are bears in town occasionally. I mean, I lived a few years ago, I lived close to here and we saw bears. Nothing like huge or ridiculous as a small bear. Like I said, excuse the heavy breathing. I've not conditioned myself well enough for these types of walks, but I'm getting there. It's a lot easier than it was the first day. I was really hoping there would be a summer sturgeon opening, but I don't think there was. I looked out for it. I missed out on springers and I missed out on sockeye because life was just a little too difficult to make time for all that. But there's always next year. I'm hoping that I can get my boat all ready to go and make springer and sockeye, all that stuff, a little bit easier. Definitely, it'll be nice to put some fresh fish in the freezer. I still have deer meat from my deer from, was that last year? I think it was last year. I cannot remember. It's one of those things that, like, I should remember, but it has been hectic for the last few years, and I'm not remembering things that I should easily remember just because of the stress of everything. But it's getting better. It's getting a lot better. Simplifying things, making things easier on myself. My wife and I are just trying to make things simpler on ourselves so that we are not like working ourselves to death every single day to maintain everything. I mean, we simplified our life down to a trailer, and that should have, helped. I mean, that did help quite a bit. Problem is we still have 90% of the stuff from our house that we didn't get rid of, and we're trying, but between sicknesses, bad weather, family things like that, we just haven't had a chance to go through and get rid of all the rest of the stuff. But we're getting there. But yeah, my plan for this year is to just kind of wait and see what happens. I'm gonna fish, I'm gonna hunt. It's whether or not I actually can get anything on video is the thing. And I will probably start my podcast back up. I took a break from it. The platform that I was using to make my podcast got bought out by Spotify. And so all of the things have changed, and it makes it a lot harder to monetize it, which I wasn't making a lot of money. So it's not like I'm losing out on a ton of money, but they made it so that I can't make any money until a lot more people see my podcast and listen. So so I'm trying to figure out a different way to do it. I'm hoping that I can move everything to a different platform. I mean, you can find it on pretty much every podcast platform. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for joining me. And the rest of this video will probably just be the rest of my walk with some nature sounds and or music. We'll see what happens. We'll see what I decide on, to cover up the heavy breathing. But thank you guys for joining me. If you want to keep your eyes open for new content and be notified, go ahead and subscribe and click that bell. But yeah, I will have some new content coming up soon, whether it's hiking videos, fishing, hunting, foraging, bushcraft. We're gonna, I'm just gonna get videos of everything. My family and I, we want to go do some hiking. We want to go do some fun things, and I fully plan on getting some content going. But thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. I was just down there. There was a couple down there talking, so I couldn't easily film while I was down at the waterfall. But maybe on the next one. Actually, this trail might go back to it. Oh yeah, that's right, because there's a trail that goes down. Whew. That's a lot of mud. Let's avoid the mud. I don't mind getting dirty, but I plan on going back to work after this. So let's not get too muddy. One of the best parts about these trails is they're in and around main trails. So even if you're a novice and you've never been here before, you can walk these trails. And as long as you don't fall or get hurt or walk off the trails, you're going to be just fine, because you'll end up heading back into a main trail or a road. I mean, this whole area is completely surrounded by houses, a lake. So it's kind of hard to get lost in here. But that does not mean that it doesn't happen. Oh. My physique does not like uphill, and my knees don't like downhill. But we're working on that. The more I strengthen my core and my legs, the easier this will all be. And the big reason for me wanting to start taking care of my health and start getting back on track is I got a lot of family members that have gotten really sick or died, and I have the same genetics as them. So I very much so want to be around for quite a bit longer. Oh, I did not know that trail came out here. I thought it was going to come out a bit ahead of this, but hey, it's where I want to be. This is called the Lower Falls Trail, because it's, takes you to the Lower Falls. I like it when trails have a name that makes sense. I'd always love to own a ton of property, build trails, that people can come walk on, and just name them something silly like Pointless Trail. It goes out a little ways and stops. It just turns around and comes back, so there's no point to it. Or, then you can argue that there is a point to it. So, or it'd just be really cool to, no matter what, when I have property, I'm going to build my own trail systems, because I love hiking, I love walking, I love being out in nature. It's my thing. Something I've always loved to do since I was a little kid. Being out here is where I belong. It's where I feel the best, the safest, the calmest. You know, it's crazy because I've been lost twice that I can remember. But I was never freaked out that I was lost because I felt at home in the woods. You know, I felt like even though I was lost and I didn't know where I was going, but even though I was lost, I felt calm. Like I knew nothing was wrong was going to, nothing was going to happen. But I don't know, I've always felt at home in the woods. It's just, I think a lot of people feel that. They feel comfort in the trees. Not everybody. I know there's a lot of people that don't. This bridge has definitely seen better days. Maybe it'll get repaired soon, maybe not. Never used to be a bridge there. Used to have to cross the stream. But that's okay. It's not a deep stream.